When I first got back into working out again, I felt like all the time and effort I was putting into developing my chest wasn't really showing me the results that I was hoping for. And there were two very simple changes that I made in my chest training program that I think had a big difference. Now, I say these changes are simple and, relatively easy to implement, but it doesn't mean that you're gonna get overnight results. And honestly, what I've done might not work for you, but if you have struggled at all with getting the type of chest development that you're hoping for, these two changes, if you haven't tried them yet, might make a difference for you. Now, the first change I made was to restructure my priority for chest development, which was the main exercise I do, a dumbbell bench press. I've pretty much always relied primarily on a flat bench. And something interesting that I noticed after looking into this a bit more, and actually it was from one of Jeremy Etheria, I can never say his last name, but Etheria's videos where he demonstrated how the angle of your sternum can impact what muscle fibers are primarily targeted during a flat bench press. And when I looked into that for myself, I started to realize I think my sternum is a slight decline down. So when lying flat, the main angle is kind of like a decline because my sternum is declined backwards. So I'm primarily focusing on the lower pec and middle pec. So I made this simple change of raising the bench up to an incline position. I started off with the lowest incline that my bench can go, but now as I've built up some more strength and comfort with the exercise, I go up a little bit higher. Somewhere in the range of 15 to 30 degree of an incline would be a reasonable place to focus on the upper chest. And what's really interesting about this is that there is research that has shown that doing an incline bench press not only provides more focus to the upper chest fibers, but it equally provides growth to the middle and lower pec. So you're not losing out on anything. You've only gained a massive benefit by targeting the upper chest, which is going to, especially if you've not focused on it much, provide a substantial increase in growth and size of your chest and give it more that shelf-like look that makes a chest look more prominent and aesthetically appealing. Now, if you've never done the incline chest press before, it may feel awkward and like you just don't have the strength. That's how I felt at the start as well. This is my warm-up set with 35-pound dumbbells now, and I do my main sets with 60-pound dumbbells. It seems to work well for me at the 30-degree incline. But what you want to make sure you're doing is making sure you're maintaining the tightness in your back, keeping your shoulder blades down, and focusing on the chest muscle doing the work. Don't let your shoulders rotate in and over, because then you'll focus too much on the anterior delt and not the chest. Another change I made that was fairly simple to introduce as well, but maybe not easy in terms of it makes the workout a little bit harder, was implementing something to increase the intensity of the stimulus to my chest, as well as increase the volume that my chest was seeing without overly increasing the amount of time I had to invest into working out and training my chest. Because I only have a limited amount of time and I want to make sure I'm doing the best I can to target my whole body with currently a focus on my chest and back. But I didn't want to have to add an extra day of chest training, and I didn't want to have to add an extra 20 to 30 minutes of working out to train my chest on those days. But something simple that I was able to add to intensify the workout and the stimulus provided to my chest and dramatically increase the volume that my chest was seeing was adding push-ups at the end of each set. Now, you could start slow and you could do this as just a one all-out max rep set at the end of your chest workout, or you can do it at the end of each set if you would like to. But there's a couple things I want to show you that will make this more effective and efficient to really help focus on your chest training without doing wasted sets, wasted effort, wasted volume, and just adding more of a recovery requirement without providing you as much benefit. So make sure you pay attention to these couple things that will improve the efficiency of your training. Now, I'm not great at the call to actions, and I'm not great at knowing, when the best place to put them in is, or even remembering to, but if you're enjoying this video so far, it would really mean a lot if you'd hit that like button to help, show the algorithm that you're getting something of value out of this video. And if you feel like you might find value in my channel, hitting the subscribe button would mean a lot to me. If you're not sure yet, go check out a couple other videos and see if you might be interested. And lastly, consider dropping a comment to share your experience that might help somebody else who might be struggling with that same problem. And let me know if what I've shared so far has resonated with you, or if you've got any other tweaks or things that you've done a little bit differently. So the obvious and easiest place to start is just regular push-ups from flat ground. If you haven't built up much strength with push-ups yet, this is where you want to start. And these other things that I'm going to share are useful things to try and implement, but it might not be your primary volume for push-ups if you're still struggling to do, 10 to 20 push-ups on regular flat ground. The next step, as I mentioned, we're targeting the upper chest as much as possible because it stimulates more growth of the chest overall, is doing a decline push-up. So you get your feet elevated, allowing your body to be at a decline so that most of the effort is going towards your upper chest. Now, if you can get at least 4 to 5 reps of these decline push-ups after your regular chest set, I would stick with these decline push-ups rather than flat ground push-ups. Now, whether or not you're doing regular flat ground push-ups or decline push-ups, consider finding an elevated surface or a block of some sort to allow yourself to do these deficit push-ups, giving a much deeper, greater stretch on the pecs when you go down, allowing for so much more tension in that stretched position, which is the primary factor, one of the primary factors that's going to result in more muscle growth. So that's it. I changed to a focus on targeting the upper chest, and I added an intensifying factor to my workout to make sure that I was really hitting those muscles hard during the time that I was putting into training them. And doing this consistently within the first 2 to 3 months, I really started to notice some progress. And now, 4 to 6 months in, I'm starting to see progress that I'm really happy with. And obviously I'm hoping that the progress and development continues, but I'm getting to that point where I'm quite pleased with the progress I've made. And if I only make very minor gains from here on out, I'll be okay with that. So I really hope that this video was helpful for you. I hope that if you haven't tried these things, that they'll be helpful for you and maybe be the answer to making the difference for your workout. Let me know in the comments if you have any recommendations or suggestions for me. And again, any support you can provide to me would be so much appreciated, and I hope to see you in the next video.